So apart from one game against Nottingham Forest, Liverpool and new manager Slot have been perfect. Dominating the Champions League and dominating the Premier League, sitting top of the table after 7 games currently played. But we don't want to judge after 7 games, instead a few years, as I'm becoming a board member of Liverpool for 10 seasons. To see the highs and lows that are to come for Arne Slot and Liverpool overall in this 10-season rebuild. As yes, people, welcome to the Arne Slot era, but before that era starts, if you haven't seen a previous rebuild, we have to spin this wheel to see which current first teamer or bench player we have to keep all safe. McAllister, okay, so we cannot sell McAllister. And that shouldn't be an issue, so yeah, let's just go about our business. He's actually a player I never wanted to sell anyway, as I put Nunes into the reserve players because I got him and Kwanzaa the wrong way around. Put Kwanzaa onto that list by mistake, as this wheel's only a small one and it lands on Yaros. I knew for a fact I'd get the only one I don't want to use, so as long as we keep him here, and we've got to keep McAllister here. As before we get started, I apologise for not having a kit, and I apologise for my cold. I've got it really bad now. So I apologise for the sniffles, but I am not apologising with what I'm going to do with Liverpool, because this team is brilliant. But as we all know, it goes further than that starting 11, and actually in the starting 11, there is a few issues now. Look at these contracts. We've got Salah, Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, all running out in a year's time exactly, with 2 of them 32-year-olds, so 2 of the best players in recent history for Liverpool may not be around for long. And of course, in 10-season takeovers, we do have these leaderboards. As can a Liverpool player beat the stars of the United and Chelsea rebuilds, which I'm not going to spoil. You've got to go back and watch them yourselves, as 91 million. Not the biggest of Liverpool budgets, but I strongly believe with Liverpool we've got a better starting point than Chelsea and Manchester United, as I'm actually going to go tiki taka. And the shape being this one with only 1 CDM player, because I believe with Liverpool their best players are the attackers. And you might think I'm very stupid, but this is the team I'm playing. You can see a huge change there. We do have a right back in midfield. That's right, making the change to Trent immediately in this set. And with Connor Bradley, maybe we loan him out season 1. As only 1 transfer listed player, and that's Tsimikas, the left back, but a few transfer listed for loan deals away from Liverpool. So fullbacks are the needed players, but before we even go on to fullbacks, we need to sign our best players up. I don't want to lose them for free. As there's VVD signing a new 2-year deal, Trent signing a 4 in the office of Arne Slot, and Salah back in the restaurant signing a 2-year deal. Very good business, but before, like I said, going for a right back, we've got to send our scouts out, as the first one goes to England, the second one I'm going to send to the Republic of Korea, and the third one to the Netherlands, because of course Arne Slot's from there. As comment down below where I should send my scouts next time. As also, whilst you're down there, smash a like on the video. We aim for 1k likes each video. If we can hit that, I'm eternally grateful. And also subscribe. The channel's growing more than ever, and we want to hit 50k before January 3rd. Huge, but very much doable challenge, as I want a right back to come in who may not dominate the right back slot. In Molina, 82 rated, and of course from Atletico Madrid. But I'm gonna risk making this signing because he might not last long in the team. Because we want someone now who does fit the right back slot, but also someone who Connor Bradley can come back and maybe replace. As speaking of replacing, our backup left back's our only sold player, as Konstantinos Tsimikas goes away to Crystal Palace in the Premier League alongside us. A good move for all, as of course this is a good move. Connor Bradley gets his loan and he goes to Lyonnais. Very suitable for him, and I am looking forward to see how he grows, as we do need a new left back now, and Alfie Doherty, one of the best players I believe last year for Luton, and just like Trent, can also drop in the midfield if needed. And this man was signed at only 77 rated, already 80 amongst a very talented bench. Sorry, Gravenberg 84. And I haven't even been playing him, as the team that has been playing is this one you see on screen. Not Jota as well, weirdly. He hasn't played up front, but then we got Trent, 89. He's fully changed to a centre mid. And he's the best in the team, but one player that's becoming a non-best player is Virgil van Dijk, now on a slight decrease, which you do have to say you hate to see, as Georgie Mamardashvili, what? Am I just being stupid here? I probably am, and you guys can tell me in the comments, but I never actually knew they signed him on a permanent deal. That's a keeper for the future, I guess, as our best player at the club currently is actually our goalkeeper. We're in a bit of a scramble here. But not in a scramble for goals, as you can see by our goal scorers. We've got Diaz scoring 36, actually outscoring Mohamed Salah, and Jota getting a few, as can you believe, from the scouts we put out, we actually didn't get anyone good. I just promoted these 3 English players. I'm going to send scouts out again, but we've got Bradshaw, Jordan Barnes, who sounds very similar to the Liverpool legend John Barnes. And then, no offence, but another nobody as the team finishes with 4 defeats, but still only 3rd place. Little bit disappointing. 14 points off Manchester City, so not a Premier League title, but then we don't expect it straight away. We have to go and earn it, as we didn't win the FA Cup. It was a semi-final defeat to, of course, Manchester City again. And then in the Carabao Cup, the winners Arsenal over West Ham, as another semi-final, but hammered by the Hammers. That is a shock result, but then the Champions League we're in straight away in a 7th place finish leaves me quite optimistic, as we smashed through Juventus, squeezed past Paris Saint-Germain, but then just got squeezed past by Inter Milan. As season number 1, no titles, no youth players, and a team with their best players decreasing in their ratings. Not the best of things to see, I can't lie, but look here, look at the amount of youth. This makes up for having no academy. We've got players back such as Bajcetic, who was on loan, I believe, at Salzburg, Ben Doak, the youngster, and also Connor Bradley, who's now a 78 rated, so I still don't think he's ready yet. Maybe another loan, and we're going to loan all these players out. Along with restarting our academy, you can see I've gone and bought new scouts, a 5-star, 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 and a 4-star. 5-star scout. And one going to England, one going to Korea, and one going to the Netherlands. We're starting the same project again. And that's right, project. I've signed every single player up, so they're all raring to go, loyal, and ready for a good season. But the season might be spent elsewhere, because a lot of players on our loan list, including 3 transfer listed players, Endo, Phillips, and Williams. As with 97 million left, after paying some hefty contracts, we're after one position, and I'm gonna show you which exactly. It's gotta be CDM, because Endo himself is 32. And I'll try Gravenberg there, but I still want someone better, because he takes 147 weeks to train. And I'm pretty sure the season starts in less than 100 weeks. As the main CDM that was on Liverpool's radar was Martin Zubimendi, but we are not gonna sign someone who doesn't want to be here. So instead I'm going to a man who just recently knocked us out the Champions League with AC Milan, and that's Yusuf Fofana. Same age as Zubimendi, but actually 1 rating higher, and I'm very excited about this man, just in front of Kante, who can have that French connection you can see. Should work right there, as that's the dilemma fixed on CDM, but not goalkeeper. Because we've got Alisson, we've got Kelleher, who does want to play, and then Mamardashvili, who definitely has to start games. We've got to try and get him again out on loan to another big club, if anybody wants him, as Wataru, we've sold out to West Ham. Reece Williams we've also sold. We're going to go on an outward spree with many, and I mean many, loan deals away from the club. More than you currently see, because we're still getting loans out of the club, as one of the weirdest ones, Bajcetic to Manchester United. Don't really understand that one, as also Mamardashvili. No one wants a class keeper, 87 rated. I guess we're going to get stuck with him, as we stuck with 74 million, which does need to be spent. And now I'm thinking about our old boys. Salah and Van Dijk needing a player for the future, as I am going to trust the academy, but I just want to bring in something extra. Leopold Querfeld. I don't know much about this guy. Don't think I've ever heard of him, but he does look good at 21. As alongside Kwanzaa and hopefully a youth centre-back, we will have competition for Van Dijk once he retires. As here we are at the end of the season, and Kwanzaa, oh my days, he's now 23-year-old. Querfeld 22. Looking like a good signing, as we've got Jaros sat there. I completely forgot about him, actually. I'm glad I didn't let his contract expire. As I haven't forgot about McAllister, now 91 rated. We've got to keep those two. Haven't mentioned that until now, but I have been paying attention to it, as that team looks phenomenal, apart from one injury to our striker, Jota, 88 rated. Did he get played this year? He did, just a little bit of goals, 30 in fact, with Salah 38. Very good from Mo. Of course, we know he's not going to play the entire save, as I want to check the keepers. I just need to flick it to this menu. 63 games from Alisson, 13 clean sheets, and Mamardashvili, 0 games played. We need to do something about that for his career, as we did try the youth again, and the youth's been better this year. Say Jung Kwon and Martens our best players. We're actually not getting through many decent English players, which is a weird move as we move up in the table. Now 1 point off City. It was the draws that cost us the title. Bloody hell, so close. But hey, we do win an FA Cup, so that's trophy number 1 in our second season. Not bad. And trophy number 2, because we beat City on penalties, 4-2 in the Carabao to grab the English domestic double. Now, if only we go and do the Champions League, that would be a very good season, as we've moved up 1 place. Can we move from the semi-finals to the final? As the round of 16, we lost on penalties. Bayern Munich, damn, so close once again. Just stopped by the penalties, and now 47 players, with all of them signed up and ready to go for another season. As look how many players we've got signed up for this rebuild. That's more than I expected. We've got to do some sorting now, as we do have our own youth, you can see, mixing in with some current youth, but then there's these players on the fringes of 21, 22, including Jaros, who's now 24-year-old, the Czech Republican. Never gonna fit in this team. What a terrible wheel spin. Really screwed us over, as I've got to tell you what, with Querfield on the bench, that right there is one of the best benches in world football, I believe. Seriously, who has a player at an 88 overall sat on the bench, as currently I'm thinking about making a switch, as Alisson's gone up in rating, 92 overall now, but 33 years of age makes me kind of want to cash in on it. As do we do the same with VVD, now 34-year-old, and probably not going to go up. I've got a dilemma here, because I seriously need to thin this squad out, with a lot of players transfer listed, Alisson being the standout one, but also Mohamed Salah I'm willing to listen to offers for. To add to this 143 million, which, let's be frankly honest, is enough in its own right. Of course, that's more than enough, as we will continue with our academy and an English scout again, because she can never not scout the country you're in. Gotta send a scout there, as we're also going Romania and also going Australia, because they're getting more talented players through. I actually looked at signing one of them instead of Querfeld, who can go into that defense, but come on, he's not Van Dijk level. So maybe that's where we sign. Do we go for a full world-class centre-back first? I think actually we'll wait on Van Dijk, see if he actually leaves, as no bids for him yet, but a bid for Mohamed Salah, and it's only 1 million plus Christopher Nkunku, but not a player I want at Liverpool. I just want money. As why do you think I'm selling these youth players like Beck? It's because I just want money, and finally he leaves to go to Chelsea. 52 million, I'll call it 52 million for a 34-year-old. And now we can sign another winger. As the player I want to bring in, yes, probably has been bought by everyone, but Rodrigo for Liverpool, now left out a little bit at Madrid. And as you can see, it's going to cost us a whole bunch of money. But I'm willing to pay that if we can just get a few more players out. As here we go, Cade Gordon. I always wanted to sell this man, as we can't have too many wingers when trying to sign a world-class one. As here he is, Rodrigo, and this is going to cause shockwaves, leaving Real Madrid in a Neymar-esque move. Coming out of the shadow of Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. to make his name here in Liverpool. I mean, rating-wise, I believe in season number 3, or the end of number 3, we shouldn't be able to complain. As look at these, we've got Alisson 93, so he actually still is going up, so that's a good thing for his market evaluation. We've got Trent McAllister, who of course is on that 10-year contract. Rodrigo 92, he's flown up in his first season. Mamadashvili finally going up a little bit, as our top scorer was the new man, Rodrigo, fan favourite already? Possibly, as this is the team. You can see Virgil van Dijk. I really regret no club coming in, but then again, why do I regret it? No bloody club wanted to buy once the world's best centre-back, and that's just a weird thing. For me, especially. Where was the Aston Villas, the Newcastles, etc.? As our academy this year, we do have some half-decent players. Stein, Bakker, and then Matthias Janssen. It looks like Arne Slot, the Dutchman, likes Dutch young talent. And a big squad, because with them promoted to the first team, it's now 46 players, so we'll have to sell next season. And the loanees this year, well, some of them have done okay for themselves, like this man Ben Doak. He looks very promising. He's out on loan at Middlesbrough in real life, and the only problem is Rodrigo stands in his way as Man City stands in ours. I actually can't believe that. I am stunned. A point again, and we took less defeats. It is draws that is killing us. Definitely need a new defence, as I thought that was the FA Cup. It's the Community Shield, as Bournemouth win the FA Cup. We were knocked out in round 3 to Wolverhampton. Then again, it doesn't matter, because we still find a way to a trophy, winning the Carabao Cup. So that's another one to the tally. I believe that's 3 already. We might not have to sack Arne Slot. As if you did see the other rebuilds, I don't think I've said it in this rebuild today, but we can hire and fire managers, as we do finish 4th in the UCL, going through to get Monaco and beating them 4-0, then beating Munich 5-1, revenge never tasted so sweet. Then we beat Real Madrid, Rodrigo's ex-team, to go ahead and land our first Champions League title. Can you believe that? I mean, we just stole one of Real Madrid's non-utilised players, and he goes and wins us the Champions League. Sounds all good and fun, but we do still have some issues, because with them players in the first team being so good in rating-wise, it has not improved Querfeld, Mamadashvili 89, and Bradley still an 80, Bashetic 79. Even Tyler Morton, he's gone ahead and took over him in rating, so yes, we've got good players, but they still are getting old. And I'm not just repeating myself with Van Dijk and Alisson, I'm talking Robertson, Jota, Diaz, our goal scorer. We aren't going to have them for a full 6 more seasons, I believe, so we've got to make changes sooner rather than later. As with 146 million, it sounds like a good budget already, but if we could sell some of them aging players like Robertson, it would sound even better, plus their evaluation's only going to go down. But we'll keep on scouting ourselves though, not thinking money, as the first scout England, the second scout Peru, and the third South Africa. I want to find a Tisha Laba Laba, as almost every academy player from that nation turns out good. And I didn't speak about this. Szoboszlai to Man City. Last year on deadline day, legit last moment, I thought I might try loan him because we don't have room for him with Alexis McAllister having to stay. Trent as well, academy grown. I didn't want to get rid of him really, as there's a lot of players transfer listed. Still, some youth from last year that I actually want to sell, and then we've still got youth that are like 23. Take Morozek, for example. He is never going to get used. Same as Jaros, who I keep speaking about, the player that we have to keep, and I hate the fact we're going to keep him. He's literally our 4th choice keeper. But we know what we need this year, because 6 days into the window, an offer for Van Dijk and I want him to leave the club. And I'm honestly losing faith in selling Van Dijk. So if he isn't going to leave the club, I might as well just sign a first teamer anyway. As I found this man, and I didn't expect him to be this good, but Per Schuurs, who of course is a Dutchman himself, just like our manager, and an 87 million release clause, which we're gonna go ahead and pay because I want my Dutch centre-back here. But as one good defender comes in, we actually lose a first-team defender in Molina to Barca, but let me explain the madness. As you can see for yourselves, he was 29 years old, and we have a younger player here in Bradley, who's now 24. Maybe he's too old, as we do have our academy looking pretty bad at the moment, but we do find the Tisha Lapa Lapa. Don't know why I find pleasure in that, as do we actually make any more signings? The first team's pretty comfortable. Of course, we have our Alisson feud, as I've gone ahead and give him his last one-year deal now, as he doesn't get another one. Just like Van Dijk doesn't. Virgil van Dijk leaving on a free. It is not ideal, but it's what's going to happen. We have a new Netherlands defender, or should I say flying Dutchman, because he's 89 rated. Schuurs is on fire. And also for Fana, he's been on fire most of the save, but he's always been bloody injured. I've just seen Alisson's going down. As our bench, well, going down in morale, especially because Mamardashvili, 27, not getting played. We've become that good that it's actually making the team hard. But hey, at least McAllister, the player we cannot get rid of, is the highest rated, and that's good because he's staying 5 more years, or 6. As all these players above 90 is amazing. But like I said, they're getting old. But Rodrigo not too old with 41 goals and 18 assists. He's trying to chase the top rank of goals and assists for 10 seasons. You'll see the leaderboard at the end, as these are our loan players out, including Querfeld. I actually did loan him to AC Milan. Didn't go well for him. And didn't go well for Ben Doak. Our first team is growing, doing amazing, but our reserves not, and it doesn't matter really, because our first team win the Premier League. 11 points clear, and that's not the Community Shield, that's the FA Cup. That's 2 trophies out of 2. We might be on for a trophy record. Don't win the Carabao, though. Beaten by Spurs on penalties. Of course, penalties. Also lost the Super Cup, but just like the Community Shield, the Super Cup does not count. There's only 1 game to play. That shouldn't count as a trophy, as oh my days, the Champions League. We are the current holders at the moment, but we fall to 21st. Did put us in a knockout round, which we beat Wolfsburg very luckily in. And then we beat Dortmund 5-2 on aggregate. Imagine if we luck this. We beat AC Milan. Oh my days, but semis, we lose to Roma 4-3. 2 teams right there that, of course, Barcelona problems with comebacks, as we couldn't get a comeback together. But still overall happy, as where do we go from here? Because yes, it's a good team, but it will continue to age. As still, let's look alive for season number 5. We are getting halfway through with 166 million. That's enough money to continue with this youthening project, because look at the age of some players. Now bench players sneaking old. Like Gomez, Chiesa's 30, Trent, oh my days, he's 29, and same with Alexis McAllister. Them 2 have gone up a year. Kanate, 29, and a man I've really not mentioned. Well, 2 men I've not mentioned in Nunes and Hakpo. They could do with youthening, so both go onto the transfer list alongside Alisson. He doesn't get another contract here. He's had his chance, had his time, and same with, of course, these 2, as we need to youth on our bench, and they need first team football. As my plan was to have a bench like this, but it doesn't really work out, because Dan's is only 75, and Doak only 78. Not hit how I wanted them to do. Curtis Jones has grown okay, but do we have anything down here? I believe, yes, Szoboszlai's back. Maybe he's another player and I hate to say it, but has to leave. Because we do need younger players, so we're trying to sell the bench players first. With Joe Gomez first out to Arsenal, weird move. Szoboszlai to Milan, and this hurts because he's good IRL. And same with Alisson, but we all knew this one was coming. Same with Darwin Núñez going to Inter to rival Szoboszlai. And Manchester United finally land Cody Gakpo. Gone to the other Dutch coach, as now almost 500 million, $500 million to spend on a rebuild. As even so, the bench is pretty decent as it is. And also the first team, you can count all the 90 rated. But for some reason not worked, so we're going to start with a right back because Connor Bradley's good, but he needs competition from Livramento. As we save him from Florence, no idea what he was doing there. Very happy with that, and as you all know, we need a backup striker, and I found these two. I believe they must be brothers, the Iglesiases. And I want this one, Christian Iglesiases, when we go to buy him, 167 million, which I honestly can't believe I'm spending on a backup player because we have the money and because we really needed this youngster. Brought McAllister a friend, as we've also brought Robbo one in Josh Bennett, a left back who will eventually take his place. As its final chances for Querfeld, Kwanzaa and Bajcetic, and final farewells to probably a few of these older players. As let's face it, a lot of them turning 32 when you start to sell them. As I'm selling my soul on hoping for an English wonderkid. As I'm also going Philippines, I'm gonna try scouting in Asia. And I'm trying South America, El Salvador. Has anything come out of this? Well, we have got a Philippine player, Navarro, who looks good. And also Theo Manning. And with them three promoted, yes, I did pick William Sanders as well. They couldn't be loaned out, but we have a good player from being loaned out. Matthias Janssen now 74, rated at 18. And also Ben Doak, who we just managed to loan out to Newcastle. But none of them compare to the decent players in our first team, as Tino, Livramento, why are you not playing at right back? As at least left back is sorted, we're still going to have to work on our right back, but Robertson 35, 85 rated, same as Josh Bennett. Who has chased him up as goal scorers? That is it, it's Rodrigo. Rodrigo is carrying. He really wants to be top scorer overall. And I mean overall in terms of Manchester United, Chelsea rebuilds, as we don't win a trophy, and you guessed it, Man City beat us by a point. And we took less defeats, and we beat them in the Community Shield. That's a horrific feeling, as they did also win the FA Cup. We were out in round 3, the first round we enter, to Burnley. But then again, we won the Carabao, so we still do get a trophy for the season. And we're in the Champions League as a 10th place finish. It's not the 3rd place finish we got, but it's also not 22nd. We went through in the playoffs, beating Lazio 5-3, but then, after a 2-0 win, Dortmund beat us in the first leg. With this team that you see before you, and that should be winning at least more than one trophy. Still can't be too harsh though, as Robertson for Bennett, and we do have some good youth coming back from loan. Well, I say we've got some good players. They'd never fit in this Liverpool side, as 169 million, enough to spend, more than enough. And I'm making this a bit of a theme, and I'm not meaning to overall, but I do want to be wary of the age of our first teamers. Robertson we have covered. Yes, he'll probably sit on the bench for a little bit, but now I'm thinking Chiesa, we could probably shift him out. With the introduction of Ben Doak, we're going to get him around the Liverpool team, as I believe one more loan for Janssen, and he's set to be a primary starter. As do we still keep going with this youth academy right here? I actually don't know, because we're not getting outstanding players. I mean, look what we currently have. We could actually promote Thoko Smith and then probably leave it, because every player we sign from now on is a regen. As an issue we've got here as well, we do need another DM, and I am looking at backups, young backups who will progress past Fofana. Romeo Lavia, I believe, had a mini link in real life. Then we've got Will Johnson, an American, and then Valentino Ferrari. Forgive me, I can't roll my letters at the moment with my nose being completely blocked, and I think he looks the best. he should sit on the bench season 1. As what a fantastic name. Ferrari just sounds superb, especially for a DM position player because they're usually known as the engine of the midfield. As now another winger, because I do want to replace Chiesa. And maybe we try this. We haven't tried to replace Salah yet. With an Egyptian player, and I believe that's Salah's regen. He's actually at Chelsea, where we sold Salah to at the end of his career. There's Omar Mamouche, who looks brilliant in the Bundesliga this year. And Nasser Sayed, who looks good at West Ham United. We need to sign this guy up. We need to make the next Salah. Or buy him, because with Diaz getting older, with Jota getting older, we will have to get younger players in. He's going to run riot as he gets his place straight on the bench, as the only thing to do now is sell some of our current players. As the first out the door is of course Federico Chiesa. And then after that, the unwanted Kwanzaa. Think we might have done Arne a little favour right there, because he was never a fan of Kwanzaa, especially after that first game. Got subbed off at Ipswich as the team's... Oh no, it is not improving anymore in a couple of forward positions. Diaz 33, -1, and then Jota -2 at 33. At least we do have our backup ready. Iglesias and Said, they can cover striker and left wing. But the only issue is, they're not growing right now. In fact, are they getting played? If I go to the bottom down here, Said got 5 games. And where's the other one? Doak. 7 games, unreal. So they're actually not getting much game time, as our top scorer continues to be the main man, Rodrigo. 37 goals, and then McAllister 27. He stays till the end, but again, he's 31. Maybe stressing after nothing, as can we click on the trophies? Hello, can we click on it? It doesn't seem to be letting me. And I've just tried everything, opening a previous save, an old save. This cannot be fixed. Little bug in career mode. But we can see our trophies this way as the UCL final. We lost to RB Leipzig, so that won't be a trophy. We can't tell on the Premier League, we can only judge by the wins. But again, the game's broken, so I honestly don't know if we've won it or not. We did lose in a cup game there to Arsenal 3-1. And we also lost in December, meaning Burnley knocked us out at the Carabao. And I'm hoping this fixes itself when we go into the next season. If not, well, we're going to be counting trophies roughly. And I don't want to be doing that. It's took ages to get to this point, so hopefully this team can just progress and win everything. As here we go, Season 7, it actually looks like it may work. And yes, the game's not broken. Thank you, EA. Although, in the first place, that should never happen. I don't think we would have won the Prem with the results after I checked them all, as 258 million has to be spent. Because even if we won the Prem, that would have been 1 trophy. Again, I don't think we did it. I think we averaged 77 points. And we've got an aging team. We've got a season without a trophy. So now we need to step it up. Get some world class in. As yes, I've been trying with the youth. I actually didn't show Janssen. Yes, he's only gone up 2, so he probably needs another loan. Then we've got Navarro, though, who's done very well, the Philippine man. And Steinbacher, but he's the age of 20. So yeah, we need to change things. We've got these 2 very good youth down here. We've got Danz as a 3rd choice. I think we set on strikers still. Or maybe not, because I've gone back to sign contracts, and Diaz and Jota both haven't had their demands met. And I'm not having that. I mean, none of them touching the 90 rating now. And we've got a 23-year-old 86 rotting on the bench. So he's coming into the team, and why not? I've put Said in the team, but still I don't want them. I want someone bigger and better. As for example, when you turn and look at Real Madrid, they've got a 99 striker at 23. Now, obviously can't afford him, but one player we could afford, Lamine Yamal. Of course, only 22 still. Probably all our budget though, because he'll cost more than 116. And plus, I've just seen Barca aren't willing to sell, making this challenge, well, a very hard one at that. But I've just found this man, Benjamin Šeško, and he's 27, prime years for a footballer. So I'm going to sign him, to use him just for now, and still let Iglesias grow, who's only 3 ratings below. As now I'm actually torn as well, because I definitely needed the striker, but do we actually get a winger? Saeed is 84 rated, and Livramento 85, but he is 8 years older than him. Bradley hasn't worked out, but I have signed a load of defenders, so maybe we replace the left wing with another Bradley Barcola. But you can see I've actually selected someone else. We've got Anthony Gordon, linked with Liverpool in real life, but no, I'm just gonna take him off the list. I am solely focused on the French and talented wonder kid. Oh, but that wage, I believe that should be too high for us. And indeed it is. We cannot pull off this signature. As we've only got 84 million, I've severely neglected the budget. I have just done contracts though, and we do have 2 players to sell. In firstly, Jota, I believe he's staying in England though, choosing Chelsea for 84.7 million. And Diaz just won't leave. You can see I'm accepting every offer. And that just has me thinking we might as well keep him at the club just for another season and then let him just go on a free. Because we'll get a budget next year and we'll be able to spend that as now focus turns to our defence on the bench, which isn't good enough. Very frustrating as Stefan Bakker. Was he in our academy? Did Leeds just pick him up after release? I don't know, but at least we have gone ahead and signed him back if that's the case. Giving Slot another Dutchman and us another chance to win titles. As let's switch things up this year, let's look at the trophies first of all, and as you can see, it hasn't crashed and we've done well. Top of the Premier League, beating City by 2 points, and we did it on 77. We could have won the Prem last year. Ooh, and this is telling because you can see we've been put in the Community Shield, meaning we must have won the Prem last year because we didn't win the FA Cup. So that's that cleared up, and oh my days, what an FA Cup final. Huge Midlands derby as we lost to Bristol Rovers. Slightly embarrassing, but we went and won the Carabao Cup. I'm trying to keep up with trophies, but we're winning that goddamn many. My tally genuinely could be wrong, as we finished second in the league phase. Been in the UCL each year, beating Monaco 5-4, and then beating Dortmund before moving on to Inter and losing 3-2. I hope Nunes didn't score, because we did get rid of him. And Diaz, oh my days, he stayed the same, but he does leave us. Livramento doesn't play again. As down on the bench right here, we've got a Glazias not moving in rating. Saeed up to an 86. Doak still at 84. Jones now onto the bench as an 86 because I accidentally changed Gravenberg to a CDM, which of course he doesn't play because of Mr. Vroom Vroom, or Mr. Engine we nickname him, Valentino Ferrari. He's still 86 rated. So many high ratings, as so many goals coming from this man Rodrigo, 40 in a season. Goodbye to Luis Diaz. He actually might be the top assister. Again, 2 seasons to beat that, and the players in the first team have to try and do that, being Rodrigo and Saeed, because of course Diaz is going to leave. And if we don't sign him up, he's a 32-year-old, but Trent on a huge wage of 7.70k, whatever the number's gonna be. See the highest paid? On the wrong search here. He is the highest paid, and he's 97 overall. Unbloody real, as I do need to check on the youth from loans. Janssen 78. I'm actually starting to lose patience with him because we've bought better youth, and I really hate that we're not getting youth through, but I'm sending 5-star scouts out at the start of these saves and just not finding anything, as I need to find a new right back because Tino Livramento, it's time you get benched, mate. As I might try and sell Bradley, but still, he's a very good third choice to have. And also, I want to set a challenge. I know we've only got 2 or 3 seasons left, but I'm going to transfer list Kelleher just because I don't want him at the club no more. And I'm going to use Jaros as a backup goalkeeper. The unfortunate wheel span on him to stay at the club, and if he can reach an 80 rating, I might let him stay the final year. Not as a backup, but I will sell Mamardashvili, sacrifice trophies, just to play that man in the sticks. Well, I say I will, but I probably won't. I don't want to lose out on any trophies. I want to bloody add to them with Jules Koundé. Yes, he is 32, but at this stage of the save, with only 2 or 3 seasons left, I'm just going to focus on getting good players and getting a good team, as our weakest are both 87 rated. And it is our left-hand side, which we've got to be a bit cautious about. But don't worry, I have been that, because when I did sign Kante, I made sure I got him because he can also play centre-back. We have been winning trophies, yes, granted, we've won the Premier League, but if we don't win 2 this year, I might change formation. Oh, sorry, Slot might change formation, as he does change backup keeper. That is Kelleher leaving the club, and he's going to West Ham United. Probably to be first choice, as only 51 million, you know. Not much money, and I believe I've still got contracts to do. As now everything's signed, sealed, delivered, we've signed some extra contracts, and only Andrew Robertson, who I'm not going to release straight away, will not have a club, and I feel sorry for old Scott Robbo. What a servant to the club, but no longer needed here. And I can't stress how much in FC 25, not real life, I hate Madrid, and I'm gonna show you why. Because of this man, Bouchard, who we already have seen before, 99 rated, just winning the Ballon d'Or, making it impossible for our lads, and I really do feel sorry for them. Like Trent's 97 rated, has got so many assists, yet never gets nominated. Look at them stats for a centre mid, and then we've got Nayed scoring a lot and actually 92 rated. Then Sheshko and Rodrigo, but can we talk about Nayed a little bit more? He's actually got better than Salah started in this save, and that is fantastic. And what's fantastic is winning the league again. Wolves finishing second, but it is Liverpool running away with it. Never changed our tactics, as Wolves also in the Community Shield final, and we win the FA Cup. That's 3 trophies out of 3. Community Shield doesn't count, and the Carabao is not won. 9-8 on penalties. Bloody Arsenal. Stopping us from the perfect English season as we go ahead and win the league phase. Then we beat Slava Praha after drawing in the second leg. Not got me too hopeful, but we do get revenge on Arsenal. And then we beat Bayern Munich, who we now actually can beat. We couldn't beat them before, and that's the 3rd Champions League. For Champions Leagues, we are bossing it with Liverpool. 3 in 8 seasons, and I tell you what, Arne Slot doesn't have to change tactics, and we don't have to change manager, as this team is bloody fantastic. Oh, and the budgets don't get better, do they? 112 million for winning 4 trophies? Absolutely disgraceful. We deserve more than that, but still, we've got an amazing team. And we do have growth on the bench, and how fitting. Livramento now hits an 87, and now Koundé's down to an 87, so he goes back into the team after literally just getting replaced. As who do we actually replace? One player I never thought would stay is actually Alfie Doherty. He's still on the bench somehow. And also Jaros, but he hasn't hit the 80 rating, so I am gonna stick. Well, I was always going to stick with Mamashvili, but am I going to stick with the formation? Because I've got an idea. Because the budget's not big, we've got a 33-year-old midfielder, Fofana, who we could actually sell to Paris Saint-Germain. He goes back home, and we go for another centre mid. As yes, you just heard me right, centre mid is what I said, not CDM, because I know how I'm changing this team up. First of all, Fofana out, that's 53.5 million, to give us 167, which I believe still isn't enough. So I'm gonna sell Querfeld just to get that money topped up. I'm going in for the mighty English Jude Bellingham, a very good friend with Trent Alexander-Arnold for England, so joins him right here in the midfield of Liverpool. As in order to get him in the team, I am going to change his formation up, as I believe you've got to do that. You've always got to keep teams on their toes. That's why I'm changing the defensive approach. I'm going with an aggressive line, as we've been aggressive enough, but why not just throw a bit more aggression in there? As sorry to the CDMs, but we actually don't need one. And how weird is this? Bellingham is the lowest rated midfielder, but I did sign him in hope we would win a Ballon d'Or, as it isn't even him, it's Rodrigo who picks it up. He's beat the 99 rated, and we have got a Ballon d'Or winner here. We didn't in the Chelsea rebuild. Sorry to spoil that if you haven't seen it. I don't believe we did anyway, and that is a huge achievement for our Brazilian. He tried to escape Bellingham, and Bellingham has followed him. And now they work in harmony here at Liverpool. Was Mbappe the problem, as our team is not a problem. We know where we sign next year. You can see Kante, who's been here from the very start right now, is 34 years old. And that's the last time I mention age in this goddamn rebuild. I'm focusing on all the old players, but now we don't really have to worry. As long as they can play one final season, as Rodrigo might win it again, he might win the Ballon d'Or again. As last season was 4 out of 5 trophies. It's crashed again. It's literally crashed again. But I think I've caught whiffed of a theme here. You can see the UCL, we lost the final, and that's when it happened last time. But then above that won the Cup. I believe that's the FA Cup final date. So we can add a trophy to the cabinet. We beat Aston Villa in the finale. But then in the Carabao Cup, I've skimmed all the way back to September, and you can see a loss to Birmingham 2-1. I believe that was the 3rd round. Patch that glitch, EA, as we've got to patch our defence for the final season of the Liverpool 10-season takeover. As this is it, ladies and gents, and this is it for not only Liverpool, but Arne Slot in charge. We haven't changed manager at all. So if this is anything to go by, Liverpool fans, be excited, as it's one of our lowest budgets though, 107 million. At least we only need a defender, as I've kept a lot of OG players here, like Mamardashvili. He doesn't play in real life, but him and Jarios are under contract in the real world. Also, I can't go through them all. I thought there wasn't actually many, but we've got Gravenberg, Morton, Bashetic, there's 3 in a row. Yeah, Trent, McAllister, Jones. This is incredible. We've kept it similar to real life, despite winning all these trophies. Liverpool, hire me, as I do feel sorry for Jaros. He never hit the 80 rating, and he hasn't got a single clean sheet. Can you actually believe that? One of the players the wheel landed on has been one of the worst statistically at the club ever. Worse than Karius, yes, as then McAllister's the opposite. He's gone to a 95, and he stayed in that centre mid slot. Speaking of slot, that's a good little segue away. We are selling players under Arne. The first one is Bashetic. He's going to go to Bayern for 32.9 million, alongside Kante, leaving for Aston Villa. Glad to see him still at the top, as we're going to go for the top of the top. Carlos Cardoso, a regen at Juve. Going to sign him up as the best player not Bayern Munich or Real Madrid based, because they're the two teams that are probably better than us. As he goes in right there, yes, he's a right footer, slightly worried, but let's just take it for his rating, because we are simming games and rating's what matters. But also what matters is the players in a certain position. Jude Bellingham at the club is the only recognisable card. So I'm going to do my favourite thing and check for some Gem Championship players. And straight off the bat, we've got Leo Castledine. He isn't the highest of ratings, but he's affordable and a decent player. 27-year-old, so should technically be in his prime, because everyone here is just miles more capable than needs be. We've got so many 90s and a few 98s and 9s. We've built a very good team and proven so by another Ballon d'Or. Rodrigo, man, he's just dominating world football. The best player in the world by far in this career mode. And yes, I haven't signed his contract up. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're done, reached the end. End of the road is right here, and he isn't even the best at the club. The highest rated is Mamardashvili, who grabbed 17 clean sheets, as you can see at the side, and then goals was 43 for Rodrigo. That is a very high margin, but here we are with the leaderboard, and could he beat Cole Palmer? Well, I can tell you, Rodrigo is our top scorer overall, and he got 344 goals, so he has beaten Cole Palmer despite joining in season 3. A new top scorer on the 10 seasons, that's a brilliant achievement, but is there a top assister? Because this was a joint effort. Trent and McAllister got the same amount of assists, but can they beat the mighty Cole Palmer with his contributions? Well, they both got 118, so they didn't beat Cole Palmer's 151 record. As now on to clean sheets, and we know Restes from the Man United save did very well for his clean sheets, but also one of our keepers did. As Mamardashvili is the man who got the most for us this save, but his 104 clean sheets more than Alisson wasn't more than Restes with 115 keeping the record. Shame. So it's actually all split right now. 3 saves in. The best scorers from Liverpool, best assister from Chelsea, best keeper from United. But of course, we've got trophies to go, and this team on paper should be winning the most of all. As straight off the bat, let's add another trophy to the cabinet, or just put it in the bottom corner, because we did win the Premier League. We also won the Community Shield, but that doesn't count to me as we didn't win the FA Cup, and I don't care where we actually finished. Literally a trophy speed run, as we did win the Carabao. But one very weird thing I spotted while simming. I'm going to go to the bottom of this list. Oh my days, I thought I saw someone different there. Don't ask me why, but I'm sure I thought we played Nottingham Forest in this, as we didn't. Anyway, Real Madrid we absolutely hammered. Then we hammered Juve, 6-2 before beating Bayern Munich. We have done this the hard route. And finally, in the final, we win the final of all finals, beating Milan in the Champions League, UCL, whatever final. Try to avoid saying the word there, as I've tried to keep up with trophies, but with the weird breaking calendar mode, it's been hard to keep track. I've written 15 down, but I don't believe it's actually 15, but that's more than Chelsea's, so Liverpool are the record holders. Yes, each season by each season, we've made a better and better squad. As if you've got a certain team you think we should take over next time, 1K likes and a comment, and I will do the most popular one.